Okay, and we're live. And I will start with the intro and say, hey there, YouTube, slasher chicks and slasher dudes. My name's Alicia, and this is Slasher Chick TV, where we like to talk about growth mindset and negotiation strategy. So you never have to choose between this or that. You can always say yes to this slash that. And this is day 25 of 90 consecutive days of live streaming. I'm sorry, day 26. Is it really only day 26? I could have sworn I was on day 27. Darn it, I feel a little behind because I definitely was sure I was on day 27. I need to. Nope, 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 nope. On day 26. That's fine. That's fine. We're here. And today, although I'm on day 26 of this live streaming, I'm on, I think, day 13 of my no buy month. And the reason why I'm on day 13 is because I failed this weekend and I bought stuff. I went to a festival with my friends. The tickets were already previously purchased, but I ended up buying stuff while I was there. Which was like, don't eat food out, and that happened. I ate food out, but I and I don't, yeah, and I've gotten ultimately some learnings from this process so far, though. And so one of the happy accidents from this is some of the byproducts that exist. And by byproducts, I mean a secondary result, an unintended consequence. Did I expect to learn some of the things that I am learning about myself through this challenge? No. I expected to achieve the goals I set out to do, which was like pay off a credit card, pay my bills a month in advance. I did not expect to learn some things about myself. But these are the 10 things I've learned about myself so far, or learned from this challenge, I guess we'll say. Okay? That's how we'll talk about it. But these are the ultimately life lessons learned from this journey. And ultimately I've hoped to be more, mindful about my spending and discover the joy of, I wouldn't say necessarily living with less, but getting in a better place of making my money work for me as opposed to working for money. These are the things I've learned so far from my no buy year. Well, no buy month. Ooh, what was that Freudian slip about? I'm not there yet for a no buy year. But first four things I've learned is one, just as they say, what gets measured gets results, right? So budgeting, insights, mindful of the spending habits, just noticing it and agreeing to notice it for a specific time makes a huge difference in your spending and your relationship with the money. Like I am more apt to avoid impulse purchases right now because just the challenge in itself makes me think about it twice before I go make the purchase. Like I will, not like I don't think about things I might want, but then before I go to purchase it, I think to myself, but you'll mess up your streak, and it makes me rethink that purchase. It also makes you more grateful for what you already own and want to consume it, not to literally consume it, not just be a consumer, but to actually use it to its full advantage before you think about getting something new. And I think the other thing I've learned from this challenge is just the importance of financial planning, and that, budget doesn't have to be a bad or dirty word. Budget's not a curse word. Budget is love. So that's one of the things. First four. I think the other thing I really learned was something about myself that I didn't realize, but that gifts are my love language. I like to give gifts. I like to give really thoughtful gifts. And I realize also that if there are people in my life who their love language is quality time, I may try to trade gifts for the quality time. I've learned this about myself. Um, so on the East Coast today, it's really warm. Okay. And I'm just going to go check my thermostat right now because it feels like, yeah, it's 82 degrees in here right now. Now, I like it warm, so I normally keep it around 80, but I got to open a window or something. I'm not turning on the air yet. So since we're not turning on the air, we got to let something circulate here. But yeah, that's one of the things I learned about myself is that gifts are my love language, and so I have to make sure it's in my budget that I'm able to give as a way to show people I care and to have a trade off for quality time because apparently that's not mine. Um, I realized that you can change your spending habits. Um, there you go, Cherry. Yeah, I was saying that one of the things I realized I learned it's my love language, and I will try to use it to trade off for quality time because that's not high on my list actually. But I know for some people it is, and so I have to, try to balance that. But the sixth thing I've learned, yeah, is that you can, change those habits, and if you build systems, then you don't notice what you don't have, right? If you have a system for saving where things automatically go certain places that you can't touch, you don't touch it. Um, but see, yeah, for someone who gifts is your love language, I think we spend a lot of time making really intentional and thoughtful gifts, and that's part of the whole process. It's not just random. Um, I know gifts are definitely part of my mother's love language, and it took me a while to accept that that was a part of her language. Where I'm often like, she's like, "Oh, I got you X, Y, and Z," and I'm like, "Oh, mom, I don't need anything." And I realized, oh, she knows I don't need it. She wants to give it to me. That's her thing. Um, but I've also noticed just paying more attention to the things I value beyond material goods. Some things, yes, I'm willing to pay money for, that I have to make sure they are in the budget. Because what I'm actually paying for isn't the thing, but it's a more intangible thing like time or convenience. Or I even put community in that and not going to my Starbucks and that being on the no buy list. I realize I'm not going to Starbucks necessarily just to pay for the coffee. That's one of the things, right? But I'm also going to the Starbucks because when I walk in, they're like, "Good morning, Miss Alicia." Like it's community that I'm also paying for there. And I realize in not going and getting that, I do miss that part of it. So I have to always kind of keep something about that in my budget. But ultimately, I kind of always knew this, but it's really becoming more evident as a part of this no buy um, month that I value experiences over things. Um, Hopefully, I'm unfrozen now. I don't necessarily now. I put the party people are here. I don't necessarily value the party, um, but I want to. I want to try new things. I want to have an adventure. Like I said, I ended up spending this weekend because I was having a festival experience with friends. That was worth it to me. But now I'm only at day 30, 13. The other surprise to me was, oh, wait, I'm actually a bit more savvy than I thought. I thought I had, I made judgments about myself before starting the challenge that I did not have any systems, but that's not true. I have plenty of systems. They are perhaps not, they're not exactly where I want them to be in terms of being perfect, but are they, is it growth from where I may have been, say, even 2 years ago? Absolutely. And so I have to take a moment to celebrate that small win as well, and that I'm better than I thought I would be. I thought I had been, but still not quite where I would like to be. But those are the things I've learned so far on this no spin challenge. And those were some of the unexpected byproducts of doing so, because it wasn't part of the plan. But unintended and inevitably, I've learned some things about myself by challenging myself to do something differently than I would normally do. And continuing to learn about myself by challenging myself to do this live stream challenge and keep moving forward with that, which that I am doing. It some days are a little harder than others to make sure that you still get it in there. Today was definitely one of those harder Mondays, but here we are. And I am grateful for that. Coach Sherry, I saw that you already went live yet, but I didn't get to check it out yet because I had on today's agenda after work at 5, I had a 6 o'clock meeting and then a 7 o'clock meeting. And so I at least scheduled this live to make sure I was on at 8:15 so that as soon as my 7 o'clock meeting was over, I could hop on the live. But I still have yet to eat dinner because I had those back to backs now. But I at least have something prepared that I can eat dinner and, catch up on anything else that I missed in the last couple hours. So that's probably what I'll do is I'll eat dinner, I'll listen to Coach Sherry's live, comment, and the other thing I was actually planning to do today is I had been really thinking about what the tips you gave me yesterday, Coach Sherry, about, me setting up myself to reduce any friction. See, yeah, that's what happened to me the other day. And then it kicked me off. And then getting back in there was like, I had to leave the StreamYard and go back into the StreamYard to even get my audio back on. So other lesson learned on how to reduce the friction is make sure I put on do not disturb on the phone, on the laptop, or whatever when you're going live. Um, but in thinking about how I will uh, redo my space here, so that I can remove the friction, I need to make sure that the space is always set up to, easily go live. He's right though. I mean, we know he's right, Coach Sherry. I love that though. He's giving you coaching like, now, Mom, you know. He's like, you know better, Mom. That's basically what he was telling you. Um, yeah, it's not. However, listen, we are working on like an objective key result model. Okay, 80% attainment is a goal achievement. That's so. If we keep it to a binary, I either went live or I didn't. Well, technically, that would be still binary because you either went live at the time you said or you didn't. But yeah, I'm trying, and I'm trying to make up excuses. We know he's right. We know he's right. That's just really what it comes down to. um, but in my 7 to 9 things that I would set up to have myself set up for success, I do want to be set up that like I can literally just sit down and press 2 buttons and I'm live. Now, couple of things I don't have 7 things yet I would have to do to make that happen, but I've got a few. Um, and so, yeah, I have that as my goal today is to get clarity on what those few things are that I will be doing before the end of this week to make sure my home office is set up for YouTube live stream success, to be able to go live at any moment without any hesitation. So that is the goal. Now, one of the things that I had here that is part of my office that needs to be updated is I have like my lighting set up on a bunch of books, and this is one of the books. I'm gonna try to keep it from going what's face. And it's basically a book about, like, I would say ultimately, yeah, the power of sisterhood. And I've always said that she should make it a course. Um, or at least a workshop. And this actually has a lot of good stories in it too about used to illustrate the power of sisterhood, Coach Sherry. So it's a good example for, yeah, storytelling to get some of your points across. But since I have some time here and I need to reorganize my office, I thought, I bet you if I were to look at this book, I would immediately have some things that are aligned with the community that we hope to create here. Um, and I do. And in this, it talks about, so yeah, ultimately the name of the book is The Woman Code, 25 Powerful Keys to Unlock Your Life. And in this one, Living the Code, it says, to be a sister is to be a friend, to be loyal, tried, and true. It is to give a smile, lend a hand, and practice friendship. It's to be forgiving, to be a covering, a balm, a helping hand, a fierce advocate, and a builder of other women. Being a sister means you value other women as you value yourself. That can be problematic if you do not value yourself, but you can learn to love yourself. You can learn to feel worthy and valued. You can learn to trust, love, and support other women, even if everything you've experienced in your past or have been taught is contrary to that possibility. So, since we're here, these are 5 keys to help you see sisterhood as an action word. Number 1, cherish the women in your life. We as women are a gift to each other, truly a gift. It starts with our mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and other family. Our relationships with other women across the span of our lifetime makes us who we are as we become women. Women matter in our lives. They weave together the fabric of our hearts, souls, and minds. They are gifts. Tip number 2, encourage other women, as well as yourself, to live fully, love passionately, and take risks no matter the price we may pay for happiness. Life is delicate, precious, and to be lived fully. Better than happiness, we should seek joy. I do believe that. Because I believe joy to be our birthright. Celebrate that women are the backbone of life. There's something amazing about the strength of the steel of women. We are the fair sex and we are truly the stronger sex. Does anyone want to argue that point? All right, a little bit of humor thrown in here, or as some people might believe, facts. Thank God for the women in our lives who help us keep it all together. Women's connections as friends and sisters is powerful. Your true women friends and mentors will love, carry, counsel, and uplift you, and yes, correct you. Indeed. And tip number 5, take great pride in helping lift other women as they climb. Women are graceful. We are healers. There is no greater love or forgiveness than that of a woman who believes in you and who is in your corner. Successful, loving women possess grace, humility, love, and restoring power. Successful women are not insecure. All right, that feels like not where to end the line. I would have liked it better if it said, like, did it in the opposite, but ended with successful, loving women possess grace, humility, love, and restoring power. I like that one. Anyway, keywords that they named for this chapter are sisterhood, grace, forgiveness, lifting, encouragement, healing, restoration, live, build, give, connection, friend, peace, joy, and power. And I don't know if I would have picked up this book had it not been for reorganizing my office. And I do think that, as they say, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. So there's something to be said on why this is coming up for me again, that I should potentially read it. Huh. Okay, it has an audit in here too, as well, on how on your support systems. But yeah, that's one of the things I will be doing, is organizing my space this week so that I don't have any friction to the live streams. And we'll see what other gems I find as I organize, because right now I'm really interested in what I got over here. The other books that I have holding up my life was The Souls of Black Folk. I need to. This is a really good copy. It's in good condition. It's a lucky thrift edition. Oh, I love that. Congratulations, Coach Sherry. I love that for them. Okay, this is the book. It's called The Woman Code. Hold on, let me on. Oh, there we go. The Woman Code. It's by Sophia A. Nelson. This is also why it's a great example, because Sophia is a very loud and proud Republican, very different political ideologies. And she very much still is a firm believer of the power of sisterhood. But I do highly recommend this book. I really actually enjoy this book, especially for, like, if you're trying to think about activities, for women, like women's groups or events, things of that nature. And then the other thing I have over here holding up my light is the Corn Fairy competency book. About building your core professional competencies. And yeah, I will have to figure out now how to incorporate these actually into my library, not to just hold up a light, so that I don't forget that they're over here and available. Oh, but she built this city trains women in construction and trades. I love that. And is it specific? I'm assuming it's like a national organization, though, too, that there's like chapters and a lot of metro areas. Um, but that's really awesome that you continue to be recognized for the value that you contribute to your community. And I don't have a good quote of the day out of my little quote book, but I was going to try and see if it gave me a good one to close on. But let's see. This is not it. Okay. All right. Still not a good one. It's in Charlotte and Greensboro and growing. Awesome. I would also think that I'm making an assumption that because also a lot of people are moving there and stuff, that like construction would also be a pretty booming industry in that area. Um, so I'm sure there'll be more opportunities too as the organization continues to grow. Okay. I feel called on this one. Okay. The quote for the day is, "Don't hide your face from me when I am in distress. Turn your ear to me when I call, answer me quickly." I don't know if is that a particular scripture? Hmm. I'm not sure. Maybe you know, Coach Sherry. But all right, and the one that fell out, "Show no mercy to wicked traitors." That feels aggressive. Why would I be thinking about wicked traitors? Okay. I just want to name, yes, they are Bible verses. I did get this from Timu. So my expectation on the quality and how good they were going to be is kind of low. Ooh, yes. Now that I'm really excited about, because I can't wait to see the opening of your sports center. Okay. That was actually so far one of my very favorite one of your lives, is going and just walking around there while you went to check on your property, because you got to make sure nobody's over there doing anything, that could potentially damage it or that you might be liable for. So I get it. You have to go visit it. Ah, and here we go. We landed on the right quote. This is where we were supposed to be, okay? I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live. And that is the motivation for Monday. We all deserve this happiness. And you can have that by doing good while you live. And it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. It's a Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. quote. He says, "Everyone has the capacity for greatness, not fame, but greatness, because greatness is determined by service." And don't ask me why all the quotables are in my head today, but I think it's more because, yeah, I just needed motivation to keep it up. If you needed motivation today to continue to move past Monday, then hopefully you'll end the day with some motivation as well. But I have been very much motivated by your news today, Coach Sherry, and you had some exciting things happen and some just progress towards your vision And I love that. And that's what we will end on, is celebrating the progress and celebrating that as I say this, I literally hit 30 minutes live and achieved my goal of day 26 of 90 days of live streaming. I'm so excited because I really think I'm about to have a party when I get to day 30. I really, really am, because in my original challenge was to commit to 30 days. And my offline accountability partner that keeps me honest with this has to say that I have achieved my 30-day goal once I get to the 30 days. So it will be a milestone reached, and I hope to see you all there in a few more days. I'll be back tomorrow for day 27. Have a great night.